Dutra again. Beretta with a great save. Pushes it away. Hernandez turns up the boards. New face to the Tacoma Stars this year, Nestor Hernandez. Roscoe on a full volley. Tries to clear it away. This is Dutra again. Still just the one goal in it. It was Jamel Juice Cox just over a minute into this first quarter. The first attack that the Tacoma Stars had. Quick turn. Alami. Diagonal ball shut down by Tyler John. He gets a poke to Correa. Ramos, he feeds him back. Correa's got John to his left. John in behind. John! He gets the Stars' second of the night. Tyler John, how electric you are.
Tyler John's fourth of the season continues his goal-scoring run. And what a fantastic goal it was. Calm in possession. Defender at his back, but Adrian Carrera really the catalyst in this build-up. It's fantastic work to keep his balance and stay afloat long enough to strike into the back of the net. Tyler John, great work.
With that, that leads us into the first quarter. Media timeout. We'll step aside, take a break. Don't go anywhere. More action just around the corner right here on MASL TV. Welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barron's, Cole Weaver here. The Tacoma Stars a 2-0 lead just before the media timeout. Tyler John gave the Stars their second goal of the night, and I think Empire, they're showing the heavy legs. It's a bit tired. Yes, this is the Empire's team that we're used to, playing that six attacker, but boy, just in MASL, trying to play a game within 24 hours in two different states. And welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barons and Cole Weaver here. The Tacoma Stars found their second goal of the night from Tyler John just before that media timeout. Electric play there from Tyler John, from Adrian Correa. And I want to give credit also to Mike Ramos, the hockey assist, who got that pass in. It's a three-line rule on the field. We're going to see that free kick all the way up into the attack for Empire Strikers.
Yeah, not the best start from the goalkeeper on the Stars side in the beginning of the second quarter here, but he had a fantastic first quarter, being thoroughly involved and very sure in his handling. But the heavy legs being shown for the Empire as they take this initial free kick.
Quick shot. Beretta gets a touch and pushes it away. De Leon, he's going to go long, diagonal, dials it up. It's just off the top of the windows. Bouncing ball. Hernandez and Jones defensively, two lockdown players back there. I think Beretta feels safe anytime this defensive line is on the field.
I would say so. As a goalkeeper myself, you always want to give credit to the people in front of you. And obviously, you earned goalkeeper of the week last week, but you can't do it without the studs in front of you.
Samo passes square. That's Ali Samo wearing number 99. Stinson walks it up into the attack. This guy's like a point guard. I mean, he's going to take over the offense from anywhere he's at on the floor.
He's feeling really comfortable at his former home here at Showwear Center as he lays one off into the center of the pitch.
Keeping possession. Orozco still not joining the attack just yet, hanging out around midfield. Stinson crosses over the stripe. On the right foot, it's blocked. It's either a combination of Jones and Rivers. Somebody got a foot on it. That's all that matters. Palmer. Gratterall with a strike, and it's up above Beretta.
Yeah, wasn't too convincing. And seems like he just kind of ran out of options and ran out of patience as well. And Stars are able to get some valuable changes and get some fresh legs on the pitch.
Palmer chips one back into a dangerous area. Beretta comes out. This is Caceres, captain for the Tacoma Stars. The sure-footed, the archer. He's a menace from distance. But this is Correa on the run. The young bull puts it square for Cox. Can he find a second? He sets up Naw, but Palmer with a goal line save. Caceres, the left-footed strike from deep. Here's Cox to settle things down.
What an incredible block from Palmer. A goal-saving block that, but the
Caceres
not over.
Into danger. Off the near side boards. Excuse me for interrupting there, Cole.
No problem. This game's moving fast.
Caceres might have himself another opportunity, and he's just going to slow things down. Take the air out of the ball, pull it back. Tacoma Stars in full control here in the first quarter. Ramos slides in, long ball. Playing a little target forward. Ramos tries to find it. It's cleared away. Caceres with a pillow touch. Finds Ramos back. And Ramos going to get called for the hand battle here.
A little bit of a cheap foul there as the Stars were really gaining a foothold in possession, and they got a couple rotations in personnel, and we've talked about the legs already a couple times this evening, and those are opportunities to really burn the stamina.
Orozco hasn't done damage yet. Is this the one? Ball careens off the lip of the board. Jones tries to get a foot on it. Here's Orozco. Isak Somau scans the field. Had himself a goal last night. Hernandez. Somau. Gets a little bit of a screen. Swings for Hernandez. This is Orozco. He likes to shoot from here. Little over 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Somau with a pull down on Ramos as he was about to break away. Good take foul, as they would call it in the NBA.
Fantastic patience in defending there as that ball is getting moved back and forth across the front of the goal. But Ramos doing what he does best as well, holding his ground.
Beretta up the line for John. Hansen give and go with Correa. Jamil, he puts that ball into row 7. Free kick on the way for Tacoma. Nestor Hernandez is the only fresh legs on the field after that ball out of play. Takes off the veteran Chase Hansen.
Peyton, I think it's important to point out we haven't seen Orozco as involved as we might have been expecting pre-game. He's been a little bit tame and maybe holding off in his initial starting line in possession. We'll talk about that more at halftime, though.
We'll see if they go with Gomez in the second quarter. Wondering if the heavy legs is playing a part in it, and this team wants to play a little bit more possession-based, try and spread out the game so that they're not doing as much running. Maybe it's not much as that transition running that we've seen with them. Absolutely. Long diagonal ball. It's off the wall. It's settled down into a dangerous area. No. Cox now on top of it.
We've seen that long diagonal a couple times, and it hasn't quite worked out. The Stars defense has done a good job of really bottling it up and potentially getting back to their goalkeeper, Beretta.
Good header from Romero, Ramos, and now Correa on the center circle. Rivers gets a ball at his feet. Ramos. Down to the corner, Ramos. And this ball deflected up and over the goalkeeper netting. We're going to see a corner tonight for the Stars. We'll see what they have drawn up. So much of the Stars' identity in year past when they have Nick Pereira is set pieces. So now we're going to see who takes over the pen and the clipboard this season.
And I think one of the points there is...
Cox leaves it. Caceres with a strike. It's deflected away. Empire had a good opportunity to transition, did not take it, and 90 seconds remain in this first quarter. Orozco, he's showing life. He has a strike. It's deflected off of Caceres' head. It's a goal for the goalkeeper. Orozco finds the first for Empire tonight.
Well, we mentioned him a moment ago, how he wasn't really getting involved in the attacking, and the first genuine opportunity that he steps forward and takes a strike. He's fortunate with the deflection, but they won't care as we have about 1:20 left on the clock. Stars 2, Empire 1.
There's nothing cooler about MASL than goalkeepers getting on the stat sheet. And the way that Empire goes about it, and they have a guy like Brian Orozco who goes out there and fires shots from distance, hits bangers. Sometimes they're upper V, sometimes it's deflection off the other player's head. However it counts, it's still a goal at the end of the day. 2-1 as it stands. Battles along the boards at the bottom of your screen. The Stars are going to benefit. Kai Briscoe claps his hands like Pete Rose, and he's going to jog himself off the field. Hansen and Ramos over the ball. There's a two-man wall. Rivers is in the target area. Hansen, roll back for Ramos. Hansen gets it back. Finds Romero. Romero dances through two. Rivers with a shot. He can't answer back. Orozco plays it so well, and Orozco gets cleaned out after the play. Rivers a tad late, and Orozco's just that crafty to draw the contact.
Orozco getting the business done on both sides. Fantastic work from the goalkeeper. Stands up tall when his team needs him, and here he is in possession once more.
Rivers chases him down. Orozco. He was carrying that ball towards the preference left-footed side, which is not where he wants to be. It's all right foot all day long with Brian Orozco. And he retreated himself to the bottom of your screen so that he can tee up his right foot again. This is Stinson and Palmer playing back and forth. Under 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. Palmer swings it down low. It's Palmer again. Patient play here from the Strykers. Stinson with a strike. It's deflected off Chase Hansen, straight up in the air. 5 seconds remain. Stars just need one good clearance. That's going to do it from the Empire side of things. Palmer's header, horn sounds, and the Stars get out of this first quarter with a 2-1 lead. We'll be right back. Second quarter action just around. It's the Tacoma Stars 2, Empire Strykers 1, right here on MA. Welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. It's Tacoma Stars 2. It's the Empire Strykers 1. Peyton Barron's Cole Weaver here. Cole, that opening 15 minutes had just about everything that anyone could ask for when you're watching an MASL game. You had transition goals. You had a goalie goal. You had physical play. I mean, what more could you be asking for?
Yeah, I guess the only thing we didn't have was any serious fouls and blue cards, so we haven't seen any man-down possessions yet, but fantastic work from Tacoma Stars in the first period of time, but credit to Empire for really getting themselves back in this game, and they won't care how it's done, whether it's a deflection, whether it's a goalkeeper goal, or anything else in between. So really excited to see what comes in this next two periods.
Our in-house stats show the Tacoma Stars 7 shots on goal. The Empire Strykers have 5 shots on goal. I think maybe I was a little too harsh on the Empire Strykers with playing their second game within 24 hours, because when it went 2-0, I thought, put a fork in it. It's the Tacoma Stars about to run away. Orozco gives them life. It is 2-1 now. I mean, anything can happen in any indoor soccer game regardless of how big the scoring margin is. But right now, Empire should be feeling like they got some momentum. They looked really good in that final 3 minutes of that first quarter. And I can't wait to see what Empire puts together here to start the second quarter.
Yeah, the dynamic has absolutely changed in terms of that halftime team talk. And I definitely want to shout out one play that kind of got glossed over just in the heat of the chaos, but Robert Palmer with an incredible goal line block, protecting his goalkeeper, and in the middle of all that melee, they came out on top. And here we are starting the second half, 2-1.
Cox plays over for Caceres, and now it's back with Beretta. Tyler John was the target. It was read well and intercepted, but here's Jones taking over. Mendoza's diagonal ball was read incredibly well. Good high pressure from Empire. The Stars nearly break out of it with a textbook diagonal ball. Unfortunately deflected back for Beretta. Here's Caceres trying to feed that corner again. John chases down Palmer. John's under possession in the corner. John off of his feet. It's clean thus far. Good battle by two warriors, Tyler John and Robert Palmer.
Really great fighting in the corner for possession and able to come out on top, and now they're able to really suck the stamina out of the Empire.
John again faces up Palmer. Hansen back for Jones. Briscoe, a little shimmy through the middle. His shot deflected. Rivers header. Back for Hansen. And now it's Correa settling things. Correa plays the ball up over the top. Hansen tries to bring it down to himself. Orozco off the boards, and it's cleared out. This is Correa chasing it down. You know, there's a stereotype about soccer players who wear black boots. Adrian Correa is every sort of definition of that stereotype, and you will find him in the most classic old school Nike boots that you can find for indoor soccer. Watch his play the rest of the night. Hernandez with a strike. It's saved. This ball put all the way out, and who else but Adrian Correa to chase it down?
I've been playing with and against Correa throughout my entire career, and seeing him thrive at this level is fantastic. And just like you put it, he's class personified.
All Empire can do is keep clearing it out of their own defensive end for Correa to chase. That's about the third ball they've sent long. The Stars have no problem chasing these down. They're going to keep possession. Correa, he's under a little bit of pressure. He needs to find Beretta, and here he does with some space. Beretta is going to take it and go forward. Mishit ball towards Rivers. Not the way you want to play a bouncing ball towards your target forward.
And really valuable turnover of possession that is, as Empire's able to get some fresh legs in and rebuild their own set of possession. And here comes Orozco on the far side of your screen. Acres of space by himself. Ball down the sideline, and it's awkward.
Caceres chips that ball sky high, and it's going to bounce up into the netting.
Yeah, we didn't see that change like we were potentially expecting of the goalkeeper, Orozco to Gomez. And here is Orozco once more on the ball. Really great pick out in the center of the pitch.
Ramos can't keep it down. Chavez tries to play it back. Nah gets it away. Nah calls his own number up the board, and then he goes central. He's taken off of his feet. No call there. Dutra just kept his own ground, did not initiate any sort of contact. Eddie Nah, physical player. So I'm sure everyone across the league is well aware of Eddie Nah's physicality.
I had the pleasure of playing with Eddie Nah at PLU, and at his time held the goal-scoring record for the Lutes. And he's transferred that here into the MASL. Another player I've really enjoyed seeing develop.
Jones doesn't step into that tackle in time, but Cox collects off the boards. Touch pass just behind Jamel Cox from Jones. And now these two do battle in a double team. Briscoe out with it. University of Washington alum. I know he's a proud Husky. Seeing the Dogs win the national championship last week.
What a game that was.
Stinson taken off his feet by Briscoe. Briscoe off for a change.
Yeah, what a way to win a national title, though. I don't want to draw attention away from this game too much, but my word, overtime, dramatic goals, VAR involved.
That game had just about everything, and one thing I love about that UW roster too, 70% of those guys are homegrown talent. They are from the Pacific Northwest and the state of Washington, and so seeing UW put together a program like that, and all those guys that are getting drafted by MLS in the Super Draft, like Richie Amon going top 10, incredible stuff that we're seeing from the University of Washington.
Zach Ramsey as well. It's incredible connection to Ballard FC as well.
Orozco cuts it back. Palmer directs traffic around the midway stripe. Stinson. So Empire really slowing things down. Ball down towards the corner. Off the near side boards. Here's a strike from De Leon. Friendly fire deflected by his own man. Hits Alami, who gets in the way. That ball might have been a heat-seeking missile for the back post, but we'll never know.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate that it hit him square on his frame instead of maybe deflecting off of a kneecap. Could have easily gone in the back of the net.
Ramos can't hold on to possession. Orozco sends this away. Jones collects.
Yeah, these are the parts of the game where tempo's either going to be picked up or slowed down, and it seems like the game has settled a little bit into a little bit more traditional possession-based football.
Jones nearly clips that ball into Jamel Cox as he ran through, targeting Rivers. Palmer, he's going to shield away Kyle Rivers until Orozco comes out for it. Orozco dances past Mendoza. Orozco, he gets intercepted. Here's Jones and Rivers towards the empty net. Jones, he curls it too much, but Rivers is chasing it down. Orozco still out of his net. Stinson goes down in the corner. Will he see blue for boarding? He will not. I think Stinson maybe was trying to bait the blue card there, knowing the goalkeeper was away. He wins Empire the free kick. Dangerous situation. Here's another look.
And there runs the risk of bringing your goalkeeper forward, and Orozco knew what he was doing, and it was a heart-of-mouth moment as he saw Jones stepping up to take the shot, and he's thankful to see that just miss wide.
Somau plays square. Stars, not too high of a press, setting their line of confrontation at the midway stripe. Chavez. Can't get past Nah. Correa helps out, but it's deflected back for Gratterall. Like you mentioned earlier, no blue card shown so far tonight. And a little bit surprising when we have this kind of West Coast rivalry matchup going on. These two teams haven't got along the best out of all the teams across the MASL, and every single night we go to battle, but at some point tonight, we are sure to see tempers boil over at some point. Somebody will end up in a sin bin.
Yeah, if we see this game holding its current pace of being a close contest, there's going to be some tired legs and heavy challenges, and that'll usually equate to some high tempers.
Briscoe with a fancy overhead kick to clear out of his own defensive third. Last season, Empire Strykers dominated the season series. Tacoma Stars took 1 out of the 5 games. Empire just absolutely crushing the Tacoma Stars last year. 4 wins out of those 5 games. Come in tonight, see if they can pick up on that.
Really led to the disappointment of the season that it was last year. And we talked about it in the pregame, Peyton, but Adam Becker coming in and really laying the standard of what he wants out of his team, and so far so good. Still time left on the board, though, for Empire.
Tacoma all-time against Empire, 20 wins, 18 losses, and 1 overtime loss. Here's Ramos after that shot was off the boards. He just pushes that through to Orozco. He settles. Stinson plays square. Tacoma, the only team in MASL this season to not have a loss on the record. Granted, this is only the 3rd game of the season. 2-0 coming into tonight.
Yeah, the Stars alongside Utica City, the only teams that have 2 games played so far, so early days, but again, a good start.
This is a long shift for these Tacoma Stars. At some point, got to win possession and got to go get a change. Otherwise, Empire here to capitalize. Stinson goes square again. De Leon, he's got a strike, and it nearly finds its way in. He's going to reset and do it again. Changes his mind, passes out.
Interesting to see someone like Logan Jones really just marking space at the moment. And it's awkward as a defender when you don't have a body on you to really press into.
Perez, a little back and forth game of his own. He's going to swing out to Stinson. It's Empire in the all-white jerseys. Tacoma Stars wearing the all-blue. The Stars do have some jerseys you can bid on. Download the Live Source app. Set your location to Kent, Washington, and find those Christmas theme, the famous Argyle pattern of the Tacoma Stars, and you can bid on your own favorite players. Hernandez with a header back to Beretta, and he makes a one-handed snag. Just what Tacoma needed. Beretta is going to instinctively call for a timeout. That's excellent work. It will lead us into a break. The Tacoma Stars still lead 2-1. We've been scoreless thus far, but we'll jump away. Tacoma Stars, Empire Strykers on MASL TV. Welcome back. Washington, I'm Peyton Behrens. Alongside me, Cole Weaver. And Cole, we saw an early start to this game. Jamel Juice Cox scores just over a minute in the game. You think you're going to get a high-flying scoring game. Both teams might be putting up 8, 9, 10 goals. And now we've settled in. It's been a defensive battle. The goalkeeping's been great on both sides of things. Talk a little bit about reigning goalkeeper of the week, Luis Beretta, and what he's doing right tonight.
Yeah, no, he's done a fantastic job. He's made some big saves early on that really set the pace and allowed the team to progress forward and get that key first and second goal. Nothing he could do on that deflection, and at the end of the day, it was a fantastic strike from Orozco. But as this game progresses, we're going to continue to see the tempers grow and really move into their own, and I would expect some hard challenges here in the next period.
Cox on the back line. He gets taken off of his feet. Luckily called for the foul. I mean, Alami was a little handsy there, but I thought that might have been a soft call. I think that the Stars were bailed out by the whistle.
Yeah, early on you need some of those, and the foul count starting to grow. See who might move a man down first.
Caceres looks for a target, finds Romero, and he's going to get it back. Here's a long ball looking for Tyler John off the chest. I almost expected a little acrobatics there from John.
I was thinking the same thing myself.
Wanted to see him go airborne. Correa just plays this ball to space, and Caceres chases it down. Beretta, he's got a little bit of pressure. He's going to send this ball long. John and Romero going to chase in the corner. Three and a half minutes remaining in this first half. Tacoma Stars, although that they were defending against a heavy spell of possession, don't seem all too shook by it. They have fresh legs. They're still working well. There's a great high press from Empire. Leads to a turnover. Correa, he's got white shirts all around him. Can the Stars get out of this? Here's Romero into a battle. Palmer with a strike. Uh-oh, danger, but Beretta bails him out.
A little bit of a tame strike in the end, and it was a save that Beretta should make, but he did well to hold on. The warning signs being shown early on in this period of time.
Munir Alami was the one who had the strike. Beretta had a great save. Media timeout on the floor. Let's step aside and take a break. 2:56 remaining in this first half. Don't go anywhere. It's the Stars, it's the Strykers on MASL TV. Welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Behrens and Cole Weaver here bringing you all the action tonight on MASL TV. Hansen gets us going early. This is Beretta. Still trying to dial up that long ball into the attack. Rivers the target forward. So far what we've seen out of these Tacoma Stars from the defensive end to the offensive end is that long ball looking for Tyler John or Kyle Rivers. I don't think it's been dialed up to perfection tonight, and it's not been where the Stars have been their best.
Yeah, it's been tried on both sides of the pitch. We're going to come back in a moment.
And that ball's deflected. It stays, off the netting, and the Stars will have a corner kick here. We'll come back to this thought right after this set piece because we got a dangerous situation. Caceres is going to get himself onto the field. Look for Jamel Cox to line something up here.
Yeah, we talked about Nick Pereira earlier, how important he was in these plays, and now it just really spreads out the wealth.
Caceres, a natural left footer, is on top of it. He finds Mendoza, and it's toe poked into the hands of Orozco. He's going to throw a ball down the seam. Cox is in a foot race, and Romero gets it off the deflection. Talk a little bit about how the Tacoma Stars have been trying to find that target forward and a little bit unsuccessful in what we've seen so far.
As I was mentioning, it's been tried on both sides of the pitch. Orozco really looking for that diagonal in the first period of time as well, and it didn't work for him either. The difference is Tacoma has stayed with that long ball, and it's continued to not work. Empire, on the other hand, has actually tried to possess and bring their goalkeeper forward, which has been working. So curious to see if that will continue.
Dangerous turnover in the attacking half, but the Strykers play backwards to try and get a couple of changes. Stars found themselves in a sticky situation as Luis Beretta used his lone touch in the defensive half, and he couldn't be passed back the ball again before Empire had touched the ball. So it's just one less player that they could have kept possession with on that spell. Palmer in the center circle. Passes and goes for a change. Chavez. Samo. Square ball. Chavez. Goes down to the corner. Strykers, I think, are going to try and possess every last bit of this clock that they can before halftime. As I say that, long ball down into the corner, and here's Cox. Plays himself off the boards. Powell waits for the cavalry. Down into the corner. No support up high. 3-4 Strykers back by the center stripe. Trying to allow Powell to do it all on his own.
I mentioned it before, but it's awkward defending when there's so much space around you and you have to be constantly on a swivel as you're going to see players dive in at the last minute.
Justin Stinson's on the field as a 6th attacker for the remaining 15 seconds. Orozco came off the field. Stinson is on in the red shirt, top of your screen. This is Stinson. 6 seconds on the clock. Strykers, got to be aware of the time. 3 seconds. They're not going to be able to get a shot off. Nobody knows where the clock's at. The Stars go into halftime leading 2-1. Cole, thoughts on the first half?
It's been a fantastic defensive battle at the end of the day. We had high-flying goals early on. We had a couple awkward deflections, but the Stars have done a really good job of hunkering down the batches.
We'll get us to halftime. MI5 Coaches Show coming up next right here on MASL TV.
Coach, team has to be feeling right.
Yes, sir. They're feeling right. Came into training, had another good week, getting ready for Empire tonight. You know, everyone's buzzing quite a bit.
Now let's look forward to an Empire team that's coming in off of 2 straight home losses, including last night to St. Louis. Before we talk about them, let's talk about the parity in the league this year. 8 teams, and from what I've seen, anybody can beat anybody, and there is not a weak team in the league.
Correct. So that was one thing going into this year that we noticed. It's like the 8 most historical franchises, the most competitive out of the group. And then anytime you lose the amount of teams we lost this season, you start to see names pop up in other places, right? So everyone's top 12, 13 guys gets to strengthen a bit. So there's going to be a lot of disparity. No one's safe this year, and I don't think anyone's getting out of it alive undefeated.
And best of all, no travel to playground fields in Mexico. Hey, let's talk about the goalkeepers from Empire. Brian Orozco, Brandon Gomez, they can leave their box at any time. They are not afraid to come up past midfield. What do we do to contain them?
It's a game plan that I'm going to have to keep secret till kickoff. But we had a very good tactical training against it and film sessions and whatnot. Luckily, we had all of last year as well. So I feel we have a good game plan. And that's with fully knowing those guys are dangerous. You know, both of them can get up. They can beat you on the dribble. They can beat you on the score from deep as well. So it is a focus. It is hopefully going to be dealt with tonight.
Yeah, they're not afraid to shoot. But now let's shift the focus to our keepers. Luis Berrueta, Week 3 MASL Goalkeeper of the Week. You have Danny Waltman to round out your goalkeeping course, plus a couple in reserves that are fantastic. Talk about our goalkeeping.
I love it. I'm extremely proud and happy for Luis. You know, he's been a backup for the last 3 seasons. He's had great leadership in front of him with Chris Toth and Danny Waltman, some of the best teachers you can have, right? Every time as a backup, he stepped in and stood on his head and did well for us. That all showed last week, game 1 and 2, especially game 2. Had plenty of saves in that one. And then, yeah, you got Danny Waltman, right? How hard is it to keep a guy like him out of a lineup? It shows our depth moving forward, and hopefully it should be the backbone of our defense for this season.
Shoot! He scores!
How goes it, folks? This is MASL in 5, back for another week. Hope everyone is doing great. Things are heating up across the league, and there are some big matchups happening this weekend. I've only got 5 minutes to fill you in, so let's get to it.
I doubt DeLima wants to be a footnote in Childs' history. Will he be the goalkeeper to make the save? Childs, welcome to the 300 Club, Craig Childs. Craig Childs, take a bow. You needed 2 goals to get to 300. You had 2 goals today. You now have 300.
Say it ain't so. Craig Childs, the legendary captain of the San Diego Sockers, has announced he will retire at the end of this season. Jeez, isn't there anything more for you to do, Craig? You're only the all-time leading scorer in Sockers history with 6 championships under your belt. I jest, of course. What a career. Last season, he surpassed the 500 career goal mark. The Sockers will honor Childs with a bobblehead giveaway on Alumni Night on February 7th. What a career Childs has had. That being said, him and his boys weren't too happy last weekend. They took on the Milwaukee Wave at home and dropped their 2nd consecutive game to start the campaign, falling 8-4. Milwaukee looked great, but when was the last time San Diego started a season 0-2? If you know the answer, please let us know. Kansas City, the Comets, were flying high heading into Baltimore after sweeping St. Louis in 2 games to start the season, but uh-oh.
Can't touch it. Here comes Thomas. Thomas in on a break. Thomas shoots. Scores! Oh, the miscue off the restart. Jamie Thomas makes it pay.
The Blast was utterly dominant in their home opener, beating up on the Comets 11-3. Who saw that coming? Baltimore definitely opening some eyes around the league. Utica City had their season opener hosting the Comets the next day, and for a while, it was looking good for the boys in blue in this one.
Transition for Tyson Santos. Great ball ahead to Gerson. Gerson scores! And he celebrates a 2-0 lead.
They would stretch that lead to 3. The Blues were up by 2 with 2 minutes left, but they couldn't lock it down. KC tied it in the dying moments, and then Rion Marquez ripping the beauty home right there in overtime as the Comets avoid a disastrous weekend with the overtime win. Your updated scoring leaders after 2 weeks: Zach Riggett on top with 8 points. Teammate Andoreo second with 6, tied with Rion Marquez. Charlie Gonzalez entering the conversation with 5 points. And new KC Comet Dom Francis adapting to his new surroundings with 5 points as well. A couple of big matchups to tell you about for this weekend. The first meeting of the season between KC and Milwaukee takes place. Old school MASL rivals. And after the Waves' dismantling of San Diego and the Comets getting smoked by Baltimore, this game could be an early indicator as to where the balance of power lies in the league this year. Also, those Blast will be in Tacoma for 2 games, It'll be our first look of the season at the Stars. How will they handle the hot starting Baltimore, and how will they fare after the departure of superstars Nick Pereira and Chris Toth? We shall soon find out. And your players of the week have been announced. In goal, Willie B from the Milwaukee Wave. Leon Marquez offensively from the KC Comets, and from Baltimore, Chad Porch getting the defensive honor. Let's start with Marquez, who was massive in their comeback win over UCFC. 3 goals, including the overtime winner, which we're about to show you in just a moment. Chad Porch, big in Baltimore's win over Comets the day before. 2 goals and 1 assist for the reigning MASL Rookie of the Year. And in goal, Willie B. Great in the Waves win over San Diego. Good ball dispersal throughout the game, and also he made the big saves when necessary, stopping 10 of 14 shots. Time now for your plays of the week.
2:20 left in the half. Charlie rips it in! Charlie!
Mijanovic had a shot into the wall earlier. This time lays it off, shot fired, what a save! Wilkin double, triple off the wall, and Utica City block it away. All on the defensive side of the ball. Pinal, little roulette, double roulette. Pinal, here's Gerson. That's the assist of the year. Gerson scores, but how about Junior Pinal?
Tackle there by Mijanovic. Oh, Reagan with the deflection, big save. Rodriguez says no again.
The way he kept it alive, tipped by Gonzalez, and that's the assist to Bennett. IB.
Looking along with the throw. Great throw from Ejimadu. Marquez scores! A short-handed game winner for Kansas City, who win 8-7.
And that's all the time we've got for today. But just a reminder, all throughout the season, to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the Major Arena Soccer League. Social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. I'm Peyton Behrens, alongside me, Cole Weaver. Mitre is the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, Mitre is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at mitre.com. Couple of looks at first half action. That's Jamail Juice Cox opening up our scoring. I mean, a minute and 5 seconds into the contest, Cole, there's no better way to start.
Yeah, it came off a lot of pressure that Tacoma was really building against, and to break out like that, and we're seeing the second goal here in similar fashion, from Tyler John. What a finish this was to keep his balance and slide it on the near side.
That was all early on. That's first quarter action. Brian Orozco was able to get a goal for the Empire Strykers as well to make things 2-1, and that's where we stand right now. After there was no goals at all in the second quarter, no events, no blue cards, no goals, we saw nothing really going on but a lot of strings of possession. Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. Think you can predict the MASL? Head over to nxtbets.com to place your wagers on all the MASL action this season. Cole, that first half, right? We just talked about it. A tale of two quarters. First quarter had some goals, had some saves. Second quarter, a lot of passing, a lot of possession. Put yourself in the manager's shoes. What are you talking about at halftime right now, and what are you changing for either side as they come out for the second half?
Yeah, well, one key change that we saw in the lineups early on was the lack of Marco Fabian, and we know how important he is when it comes to goal scoring, and we're seeing a little bit of difficulty coming from the Empire, and it needs to become a team effort. The goal is coming from the goalkeeper, and that's not necessarily what was drawn up on the game script before the game. So I think we need to see those strikers get involved. The defensive unit hasn't had to do too much other than hold their shape. They've been marking mostly space as opposed to the man. So I'd be really curious to see Empire putting more of a target forward and getting someone like Logan Jones involved on a little bit more of a scrappy fight. And for the Stars side, it's a little bit more of the same. They've been doing a good job, and as long as they continue as is, I see them coming up on top.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League, all the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. 90 seconds till we get started with second half action. Give me a prediction. Who is scoring the next goal? Either side. You can pick a striker. You can pick a star. Are we getting a 3-1 Stars lead, or are we going to see the Strikers level things at 2?
I'm going to pick a long shot here. I see a Kai Briscoe breakaway goal. Tacoma Stars has been really doing well at holding pressure, and I see Strykers coming out hot and really putting the pedal to the metal in the first 5 to 10 minutes. But I do see Tacoma, along with Luis Beretta, number one goalkeeper last week. I see him continuing to hold his own. I like a good breakout, a fast-paced throw. Kai Briscoe slotting it 3-1 Stars in the first 10 minutes.
Fans, be sure you catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bachavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss all the league's hot topics. Talking about hot topics, I mean, these Tacoma Stars are trying to be the hottest team in MASL, trying to start out with a 3-game winning streak, and they're going to do it based on defense. From everything we saw against Baltimore last week with those defensive battles, those defensive wins, tonight it's going to take another defensive battle win for the Tacoma Stars.
Yeah, I fully agree, and it goes down to be said that this team is really working as a unit. And in indoor, it's so important that everybody understands their jobs. And if they can execute that well, the game script will be the game script. And as long as the forwards can take their opportunities when they come, you're going to start to see results come in the door the way that they want.
The lights are bright and the fans are loud. It's the Empire Strykers taking on the Tacoma Stars. Be sure you stream it live on MASLplus.tv and replay the game on demand. Clip it, share it, live it again. Make sure your favorite team to get instant updates of every game. And fans, be sure you get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer Maybe we're set to see your Kai Briscoe prediction here early. First shift of the second half. Maybe we're going to see Kai Briscoe get on goal. Brian Orozco still standing between the pipes for the Empire Strikers. Palmer, DeLeon, alongside Alan Perez. Justin Simpson on the field as well. And Munir Alami. Underway, Robert Palmer starting things off slowly, Empire. No rush here from the Strykers. They're going to get the ball down into the attacking half. John sets up for Jones. Can't turn Palmer. Not many in the league can. Briscoe's header goes straight up. Stinson with a fortunate touch from DeLeon. Collision between him and Jones, and here's Hernandez. Palmer wins another battle over Tyler John, back and forth in the neutral third. Stinson settles. This is Perez.
Yeah, it's a good start from Palmer to win possession back a couple times, as we mentioned how important it was for Empire to come out strong in the first opening minutes of this half, and they've done just that.
Palmer. Long ball, diagonal. We saw a little bit of it in the first quarter. Bottom of your screen, swinging around. Palmer just behind him. He's going to take a strike. Clips off the top of the window and into the netting.
That's been the theme of the night so far for Empire, though. They keep this possession and rotate the defense, but there's really no end product or anything challenging for Beretta as we see him on the ball here now.
That ball can't find Correa. It's a strike from distance, and it is not competitive. That was Ben Suddeth who hit that ball, and we did not see Suddeth at all in the first half. First minutes on the field, he is saved for the second half. Perhaps the fresh legs that Empire needs. Correa fouled in front of the Strikers bench.
I'd imagine we'd continue to see some fresh faces as this game progresses.
Long ball, Rivers the target. Jamel Cox, so interesting as a diagonal ball here played over. He's an attacking player, and he might start in the deepest position that any attacking player ever does. Cox, left foot strike, Orozco with a foot save. Constantly picking up the ball near the midway line and then joining into the attack, never pushing the front lines.
Yeah, he's someone can really dictate a pace of play and really likes to orchestrate that quarterback or point guard role that you've brought up a couple times, and he's shown that value with the breakaway goal that really got this game started.
Here's Ramos. Has support to his right, support to his left. He dials it up himself. Correa couldn't time it well. DeLeon, little heel flick, and now it's for DeLeon up the boards. Correa, space in the middle. Mendoza, a little outside the foot flick for Caceres. Back all the way for Jones. Rivers pulls it away. Jones went to the inside. He recovers well. Logan Jones, deceptive speed.
That's a very good way to put it. The man is big and he is fast.
Here's Na. He's got some speed. It's not quite as deceptive. You know it when Eddie Na gets on a full sprint. Orozco, a great save that he pushes up and over the bar.
Yeah, one he needs to make, and I felt that the Stars are going to take some pressure, but they're putting it on now.
Caceres over the top of it. It's Cox with a strike, and it just hits off the crossbar. It rebounds for Romero. Nah, back to goal, trying to turn, finds Romero. Made a great run and had a little bit of space, but he took himself away from the goal. Mendoza, quick give and go. Nah with a great flick. Mendoza, his shot just above the upper right corner. Here's a good foot race. Somehow he's got to slow it down as Na got back well. Ramos tries to chip ahead. Mendoza slows it down just a bit for Caceres. And here's Na. Adrian Correa plays himself around the defender. Nutmegs one, but a good foot save from Orozco. Briscoe chips it back towards the boards. Barreto was in front of his own line, so no three-line rule in effect as he kicked that ball all the way down to Tyler John. Stinson comes up grabbing his ankle. I don't think the foul is called, but we're getting a stoppage in play due to the potential injury here. Stinson went down grabbing his leg. Him and Tyler John, good friends. Tyler's going to go check on him here.
Yeah, it definitely didn't seem like there's any malice in the challenge, and to me it looked like he won the ball. It was just a coming together, and maybe felt it in his knee, which are always a little bit scary when your foot is planted. It seems like he's walking of his own accord, which is good to see.
And rather than a drop ball restart, it will be a free kick, as the Strykers had clear possession of it. And he does pick up a foul. It was whistled as a foul and not a stop in play for the injury. Chavez clears it towards the glass. Beretta launches one out. Here's John in behind. Slows himself down in the corner. Correa could not avoid the sliding challenge. Chavez breaking out. Briscoe recovering. What a run by Briscoe. Chavez plays it to the bottom of your screen. Gratterall looks, he assesses the situation, and he plays to the sure-footed Robert Palmer and gets it back.
So important to break up the play there as Kai Briscoe came sprinting back at full pace as he's done throughout his entire career. And Empire have an opportunity to build here, though, and this is valuable time in possession.
Under 10 minutes to play in this third quarter. Tacoma has not scored since just under the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. It was a scoreless second. And no action so far in this third quarter. Orozco, he's got the lone goal for the Strykers.
And it came exactly where he's standing right now in terms of his position, so I'm sure it's in the back of his mind to try and take a shot on or something decisive.
Strykers bench wanted a foul on John. Little collision off the ball, no whistle called. John getting tangled up. So Gratterall will keep an eye on that matchup as it continues. Good possession here from the Strykers. And this is where they want to live on the second game of the weekend. They want to find themselves in long spells of possession.
Yeah, and this group of 5 defenders, they've got stamina of their own, but this is taxing. Been on the pitch for a long time. Empire looking to capitalize and take advantage of this possession, but scrum that.
It was a backyard brawl along the glass. And a delay of game gets called on Adrian Correa. That's just a warning as it's the first time. Adrian Correa did not get out of the way of the restart. And look at this. Just 3 Stars playing bully ball against the boards. Stinson with a shot. It's deflected. Briscoe still battling. Ball down into the same area. John turns it. John taken off of his feet from behind. It's a Stars free kick. Now the Stars can go for a change. Alan Perez was the culprit. He gets called for the foul.
Really gritty work there from the defensive unit to get off the field and keep the lead intact. Tyler John at the heart of it, really driving the ball away and winning the foul.
Rivers the target. Back to goal, waits for support. He's got Ramos running in behind him. Palmer gets pushed to the ground. Not a man who finds himself on the turf all too often, Robert Palmer. Rivers, another foul called, back to back. Just getting his feet tangled up with Brian Orozco. Dangerous ball up the boards. Hernandez gave space. Gets past one defender. The shot, it's deflected off the walls. That was Alami. Slowing things down yet again. Our next stoppage in play will take us into a media timeout. Palmer for Stinson. First shift back on the floor since he was fouled by Tyler John. Patient play from the Strykers. That's the MO for tonight. Play with a sixth attacker. Possess, possess, possess. Find your shot. This is Stinson.
And this is something we didn't see throughout the first half from the visitors. And after seeing how intentional they are, you would imagine that this was a focal point of the halftime team talks.
Orozco in the center of the field passes. He wants to shift himself back to the right side. Palmer taking up the space that Orozco usually is in. And there's the quick switch. Palmer gets himself back centrally. Stinson just inside the yellow line. Palmer laces one up, misses wide. Ramos can't possess, couldn't get the Stars out of it. Palmer gets a change. Gratterall gets a change. De Leon. Stinson, left foot, bounces around. Hernandez, a deflection. Hernandez for Stinson. They're in behind Rivers. Under 5 minutes to play in this third quarter.
These are moments where Tacoma really just needs to stay mentally focused. The slowdown in play can be so difficult, but one key error and this game could be leveled up, and at the moment they know that. We'll see if their legs know that as well.
Ramos picks a pocket. Stars maybe thought about countering, but they gotta have heavy legs. Beretta goes to Ramos. 4 new Stars onto the field. Ramos finds a pass. He goes for a change. And that ball is intended for Cox as he subbed onto the field, but he wasn't ready. Gratterall. A little high pressure from Tacoma. I think they got some energy. Here's a good attack coming from Alami. Plays that ball forward. Beretta springs off of his line for a sliding save.
Great work from the goalkeeper there, and he learned from his previous mistake of playing quickly and slowing the play down and allowing his team to get their substitutions. They take a well-deserved deep breath as they just endured a whole lot of pressure but came out unscathed.
Beretta, a touch that bounced up on him, and then he's unable to keep possession for the Stars. Stars might be in trouble defensively. And it's brought back out calmly. We might not get to a media timeout within this quarter.
It doesn't look like there's any intent to do anything other than possess. But we saw this coming, Peyton. This was part of our conversation earlier. So the game script is definitely going the way of the Strykers. They just need to capitalize with all this possession.
Palmer just directing traffic with his hands. Briscoe puts on a little bit of pressure, forces a pass to Orozco. Stars maybe step out a little bit. Here's Caceres. He's a marksman, but he goes for Cox. Cox has a little bit of time, a little bit of space, goes around the defender. Palmer has got to be booked. There's no call. Briscoe with a heavy challenge. Things stop and everything is coming apart all at once. Adam Becker is asking for any sort of reason. The challenge flag is on the field. A blue card is going to get shown to Kai Briscoe for the moment. What a wild change of events here. If the Strykers go up a man on this, depending how this challenge is going to go for Adam Becker and his side, this is going to change the entirety of the game.
Yeah, well, Peyton, we anticipated tempers to raise at some point, and it happened all in a flashpoint, but we're right above where that challenge was, and from my point of view, it looked clear as day that there was a foul on Cox, but you know, this is going to go to a challenge, and as you mentioned, this is vital as a turning point in this game.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. So take a look here. This is the initial potential foul that is currently being challenged by Adam Becker. Palmer comes out. I don't see any sort of indication that he gets the ball and that he clips Jamel Cox. Now, there's no goalkeeper in this, so this is a clear denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. This could potentially lead to a shootout opportunity for the Tacoma Stars. Now, let's take this into consideration. Let's say this call is overturned. They will rescind the blue card from Kai Briscoe. They will then blue card Robert Palmer, and the Stars could be awarded a shootout opportunity here. So all sorts of different outcomes could happen from the next 30 seconds.
And everybody in the stadium is seeing this replay shown on the Jumbotron in live time. And from my point of view, it's clear as day. The ball was not won. The man was taken out. Last man standing. They're just trying to see this from every angle possible at the moment.
So I think the one thing that's missing here is clear indication that Robert Palmer connects with Jamel Juice Cox, because the call on the floor is that Cox was not fouled. So you need clear, indisputable evidence that he does get touched and clipped by Robert Palmer. I don't know if the camera angles right now are definitive of that. From our vantage point, we are just above the corner that Jamel Cox was fouled, or excuse me, was allegedly fouled, as what Adam Becker is challenging. I mean, we are in this corner of the arena. We had a pretty good look at it. Unfortunately, we have a referee that's on the far side of the field. This should be our best look. But the referee angles may not have shown great to the eyesight.
There's contact.
I think that angle right there is definitive enough to give contact, to issue the shootout, to issue a blue card. Because you have Orozco in screen, not in goal. But take a look at our referees' positionings here, and they are doing their job. They are in the correct positions in this transition play, but neither of them have great sight lines to where that foul was committed.
Yeah, and this camera angle here, Jorge De Leon, right at the moment where we're looking for the potential contact, he's just blocking the view of the camera. So I do think the other view that we had, as you mentioned, Peyton, was the most definitive. Referees taking their time here, as this is a really big decision in the course of this match.
We may have a decision. And we'll go down to the field for our referee and see what the outcome.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. It is a foul and a blue card on number 7. There is also a blue card later to play. That will stay as well. We'll play 4v4.
So the blue card not overturned for Kai Briscoe. Blue card is shown to Robert Palmer. 4v4 is the call. There's no shootout that's going to happen. And I'm surprised to see that Kai Briscoe's blue card isn't overturned, considering it came after the fact of the call that was on the field originally. And Caceres and Jones are asking questions right now of our on-field referees. Nonetheless, 4-on-4 action. Tacoma Stars have Kai Briscoe in the sin bin. Robert Palmer is over in the penalty box. 2 minutes aside with 2:01 remaining in the third quarter.
The third scenario we never saw coming. They elect to say that it was not a goal-scoring opportunity that was obviously denied from a last man. And now we're almost going to continue like nothing theoretically happened. There's just one less man on the pitch. But a fantastic scoring opportunity as we approach the last 2 minutes of the period here.
So it looks like everything is reset. We'll see who benefits more from the 4-on-4. Caceres is going to ask this wall to step back. I got to imagine Orozco's still going to come out and play as the extra man, so it's essentially a 5-on-4. Caceres goes for Jones. He capitalizes. Logan Jones finds the Tacoma Stars' third of the night.
And it's really good work from Caceres on the ball. Patient and disguises his pass, but when we see this replay, also watch Logan Jones off the far post, or excuse me, off the near post here, as he really just continues his movement and just looks for that space back and forth and holds that line, and it's really poor defending in the end from Empire, and Orozco's going to want that one back because he got two strong hands to it, but wasn't able to parry beyond his near side.
We got to step aside for a media timeout. 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Stars anywhere. It's the MASL on MASL TV. Welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Behrens and Cole Weaver here. The Tacoma Stars just took a 3-1 lead. Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider for Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. Logan Jones just capitalized on a free kick. We are playing 4-on-4 throughout this because when both sides go down a man, they will sit the entirety of the 2 minutes. Kai Briscoe, Robert Palmer, both in the box. Robert Palmer not released on the Logan Jones goal. But here you have Empire sending Orozco forward as the extra attacker anyways.
Yeah, this might end up becoming an advantage for Empire, and this is just a rule that we don't see too much, but it's what's called even strength. When both teams have 4v4 or even 3v3, as long as it's an even matchup, it's not considered a manpower change in the sense that they will keep both of the offenders in the box as their full time is served.
So we'll see how aggressive Empire wants to get. 90 seconds remain in this third quarter. Stinson Orozco. And Chavez gets on the field as the 6th attacker. Orozco comes off, as the 5th attacker, as both teams are playing with 4. This is how it all started anyways. Tacoma Stars got out on a breakaway. That foul was challenged and overturned because Cox was in on a breakaway behind. Stars have the penalty kill unit on the field. Here's John. .40 seconds remain, whistle blown. Stars want to restart quick while they have a man up. Orozco gets himself back onto the field. Caceres not close enough to the spot for the restart. Stars missed out on an opportunity to capitalize on the sleeping Strykers.
Logan Jones was in acres of space by himself, and you saw when that ball was played, his eyes went to the ceiling as he knew he had an opportunity to double his tally on the night.
If I'm the Tacoma Stars here, I really think about just possessing out the clock. You don't want to give Empire another chance to go 5-on-4 with Orozco forward. John gets taken off of his feet. Strykers have possession, 30 seconds remain, and they clear it towards the bench and out of play. That was a strange move from Orozco.
Yeah, loose touch from him, and he was put under immediate pressure from John. And like you mentioned, 25 seconds on the clock. There's no need to go after this, but they can't lose the ball and give another opportunity.
Tyler John taken off of his feet again. Jones tracks back. Scary situation here. This is what the Stars don't want. Down into the corner. 5 seconds remain. One clearance will do it. That's what Correa does. Orozco doesn't have time for a strike. And that's going to send us into the last intermission of the night. Fourth quarter action is just around the corner. Don't go anywhere. It's Stars, Strykers, MASL TV. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. Peyton Barron's Cole Weaver. It's the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington, and it's the Tacoma Stars leading the Empire Strykers 3-1. Now, Tacoma looked decent in that third quarter. I think possession was still absolutely dominated by the Empire Strykers, but that possession is all for naught. a lone goal from their goalkeeper in the first quarter, 2 scoreless quarters straight for the Empire Strykers. I don't know what the answer is here for this team as we lead into the fourth quarter, and they are looking to try and get their season on track.
Yeah, it's a little gut-wrenching in the sense that they had so much possession, and that possession really just wasn't used, and they're lacking somebody like a Margot Fabia, and I can't keep talking about him enough in that little bit of an X factor and the creativity up front. But it has to be said, credit to the Stars in their defensive resilience. They've kept their shape extremely well. The communication across the back line has been perfect and spot on, other than the one mistake early on in the game. And the conversation right now from Coach Adam Becker needs to be much of the same. Continue your communication, continue the work ethic, match the tempo, and just understand you might not have the ball for a period of time, but capitalize on the opportunities when you do get them.
15 minutes on the clock remaining here in the fourth quarter. If you missed any part of this game, fans, remember, catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV, on YouTube, and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Batsavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. Another great show MASL produces is Under Review, and we are going to see that Robert Palmer blue card and the Kai Briscoe blue card on Under Review. No doubt about it.
Yeah, really interested to see the whole breakdown. As I mentioned, it's just such a niche rule that you don't see happen too much, as it was not considered a power play because it was a power play for both teams that had equal strength.
Both players out of the box now, 5-on-5. Thank goodness. Chase Hansen on the field. Didn't see a whole lot of Hansen in that third quarter, and there wasn't a lot of shift changes for the Tacoma Stars because of how well Empire held the ball. Ramos can't keep possession, but he is fouled. Check this out. This is going to be a good free kick opportunity for the Stars.
Yeah, haven't really seen this much at all either, and good post-up play from Mikey Ramos as he uses that big frame and protects the ball well.
Countdown has started. Caceres doesn't understand why. Caceres needs to get this ball rolling before it's a turnover, and he's going to call a timeout. Very, very quickly, Caceres just beat the clock on that one. We're going to step aside and take a break just 30 seconds into this fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere. Stars Strykers right here on MASL TV. Welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. So a weird situation there. A free kick was given. Caceres didn't feel his team was set, but the referee had already set the ball, started the 5-second countdown. Caceres forced to call a timeout even though the fourth quarter just started. And now the Stars, they had an opportunity to go and draw something up, so I guess there's some silver linings in all of it anyways, Cole.
Yeah, it was mature play there and from the captain and just making sure that his team slowed down. Ramos was trying to get off the field, and now they have the opportunity to draw up something creative here.
Left footer Caceres walks up to it. Cox with a shot, and it's deflected away. Stars try to keep possession with with Romero going up the boards. Now this thing gets punched out to the Stars' defensive third, and Cox plays back safely for Beretta. Romero off the boards. And now it's Mendoza. Cross court for Caceres. Ramos got a little real estate in front of him. His shot deflected well. Bounces out for Nah. He tries to turn on it. And Briscoe sees his first action in about 4 minutes of gameplay. Briscoe tried to go around Gratterall. Couldn't. He wins it back, though, with a slide challenge.
Briscoe had plenty of time to rest, and a well-rested Kai Briscoe is a dangerous Kai Briscoe as he comes in clattering.
Torre fell to the ground. Palmer wants to get this thing restarted away from the boards. Foul was called nearly on the dotted lines. Palmer plays for Orozco, and they play back and forth. Ramos shows a little bit of pressure against the goalkeeper. Briscoe with a flailing header as he goes down. Ramos keeps the ball alive, trying to go forward. Rivers is hurt. He's clutching a knee. It was a tough collision as him and Ramos came together. I didn't see what defender got in on that, but Rivers gingerly walks himself to the bench. Play restarted. (3-1), a low-scoring affair. Empire and Tacoma, two of the lowest goal-scoring teams so far this season. Granted, Tacoma, it's only their third game of the campaign.
Once more, we're seeing that patient build-up that the Stars were expecting to see, but will the Empire have the ability to actually break through the door and create some genuine opportunities? They haven't really been able to do that all game.
Alami plays back for Orozco. Six attacker onto the field. Orozco comes off. Chavez has himself a red shirt. He's on the field, maybe a bit more dynamic than the goalkeeper, adding that extra field player. See if the Stars can capitalize either in transition or with the empty net. Flick down to the corner. Everything so heavily driven down the right side of the field for Empire Strykers.
It's interesting, I'm watching Somau in the center of the pitch. The only time he's able to get his feet on the ball is if he shifts himself out to the wide areas. There's no channels into the center part of the pitch, which, again, credit to the Stars for really holding down the house.
Tonight worked out well in the Stars' favor. They're on the short boards here in this fourth quarter, so defensive subbing, they can do it more often rather than being on the far end like we saw in the last quarter, and they get their defensive units just stuck on the field. But being on the short boards, they can sub on the fly when they're in their own defensive half. Stinson plays square. This is Palmer. De Leon with a strike. Jones gets a block. That ball had some English on it as it spun off the board straight to Stinson. I think Jones will wake up with a pretty good bruise from that one tomorrow. Palmer carries forward. The little outside the foot shot is just wide. John turns it. He gets pulled down by Chavez. There's the whistle. There's the blue card. Chavez goes to the penalty box. He can't believe it. Take a look at it again. Here's the spin move. He gets pulled down as he's off to the races. Unnecessary, though, because Palmer recovered so well.
Extremely unnecessary, and they're putting a whole lot of pressure on their team. We're going to get an on-field.
2 minutes for tripping.
Clarity on the on-field decision being made there. 2 minutes in the box for tripping, and the Stars will have a golden opportunity here again to increase their lead, and this is a true power play. And we'll see some 5v4 action.
Talked about it at halftime that we were surprised to not see any sort of blue cards thrown out. We knew that they were bound to come. That's our third of the night. Second one for Empire. Tacoma Stars have one for Kai Briscoe. First chance for us to see this power play unit tonight. There's been successful one time on 4 opportunities so far this season.
And the Stars are going to have a couple different opportunities here. One is the obvious one of being able to go and increase their lead, but I think something that they haven't been able to do as much as they like is really wear out the legs of their opposition. And when you have a power play here, you almost don't want to score right away. You want to create that fatigue and make the 4 work defensively, and then, if at all possible, score at the very last second.
Here's Cox for Romero. Caceres on his left foot. Tyler John has a little bit of space in the center. This is Mendoza. Romero cuts inside, his shot deflected. It's poked away. Stars got a minute remaining on this man advantage. Empire so far this season successful on 2 out of their 3 penalty kill attempts. You know you got something good cooking when your team can carry a high and a successful penalty kill. Mendoza square for Cox. That's a heavy touch. This is the last thing the Stars need, is to give up something shorthanded. John runs it down. Mendoza with a toe poke. Here's Mendoza. He tries to chip Orozco, and he keeps it out of the net. That's a heck of a save. 10 seconds remaining on the power play, and the Strykers are going to kill off yet another one. Take a look at this shot and the save.
Incredible acrobatics by the keeper. Gets his fingertips on it and has the wherewithal to understand where he's at in relation to that also important line.
Caceres can't connect with John. That save from Orozco keeps the Strykers in it. If this game goes 4-1 with 7.5 minutes to play, Strykers might as well be done for the night. That save right there, that was incredible from Brian Orozco.
In the next phase of this match, I'd be curious to see how much time on the pitch Orozco spends. He's a 6th attacker in his own right, but we've already seen a couple times Chavez come on and replace him.
Stinson plays with Palmer. Now, a 2-goal deficit in MASL is nothing. These games can flip so quick. But at some point, the urgency needs to flip for Empire Strikers. Stinson faces up Cox. He's crafty. A good shot from distance. Beretta pokes it over the top. We've reached the media timeout. 6:44 remaining in this 4th quarter. The Tacoma Stars lead 3-1. We'll be right back on MASL TV. Back here in the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington, it's Peyton Barron's Cole Weaver Tacoma Stars lead the Empire Strikers 3-1. Dangerous corner kick on the way for the Empire Strikers coming out of this timeout. Palmer stands over the ball, and he's got dangerous options all around the arc. Orozco, maybe the most dangerous on the far side. DeLeon with a shot. It deflects around. Hernandez with a deflection. Jones takes a look up at the empty net. He's got runners forward. Slides in a good ball behind. Ramos takes a left-footed strike. It's away and up and over the netting for the corner. Jones played an exquisite ball diagonally in behind.
DeLeon with a fantastic block, not too dissimilar from Palmer in the first period, but the pressure's not over.
Caceres, the lefty, steps up to the corner. He's got Romero short. Whistle blown as the wall was just a bit too far forward. Caceres drops for Cox. He takes a strike. Orozco, good save. Romero takes his chance at it, and it's deflected all the way out to the neutral third. Mendoza loves that little outside the foot flick. Beretta plays for Nah. Nah turns on Stinson. Gets picked. Here's Jones. Little pirouette and plays back calmly for Caceres. Jones goes for a change. Caceres goes diagonal for Nah. Nah got goal side. Caceres battling, but Briscoe comes in. Little help defense, and he's out the other way. Things slow down for the Strikers. Eddie Nah, the point man on this defensive shape. Not usually on the defensive shift, Eddie Nah. He's all attack all day. So we'll see how quickly he can get a change.
Oh, I could tell you stories from PLU, but I'll refrain. But Eddie Nah's a goal scorer. We'll just leave it at that.
Here's a ball into the corner. Correa goes to the turf battling for it. Here's Nah. His first look was at goal. Now he's going to step off for Kyle Rivers. Ramos is going to go for a change. Chase Hansen is onto the field. Jamel Cox is onto the field. Palmer. Orozco didn't know where to go, played to the open space on the field. This set up dangerously. Shot deflected, Perez's target off the mark. Finds it again. Rivers finally runs in, pokes it out. Tries to play himself off the windows. Palmer back to Orozco, is under pressure from Cox. Barely gets it away, and here's Hansen. Tries to clear, Stinson. It's fun watching Justin Stinson battle. I mean, that man, he is a savage on the soccer field.
It really is. And when you pair him up with someone like Kai Briscoe, as he's facing right now, those are two men that will go at it all night.
Here's Stinson in the corner. Palmer, his shot. Beretta dives to his right and makes a clean save.
Palmer's been a threat occasionally coming forward from a deep lying position, and the sting of that shot was taken out, but it was definitely on frame, and Luis Beretta was thankful how simple it was in the end.
Spent multiple years behind Chris Toth. Toth packed his bags, went down to SoCal. Luis Beretta got the nod, and he is living up to everything, all those shoes that he has to fill in front of him. Palmer with a strike. Romero gets hit. Shot, Beretta with a great save, and he dives on it for the second time.
What great work from 00, and he manages to find that line with precision.
Jones was able to run onto it. Him and Stinson battle. Jones called for the foul. Beretta was inches away from a 3-line penalty, and that keeping that ball just ever so closely inside the line was incredible. There's a timeout on the floor. Let's step aside and take a break. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter at the ShoWare Center. Don't go anywhere. It's Stars 3, Strykers 1. It's MASL TV.
Your attention, please. The Empire Strikers have called a 60-second timeout. Timeout. Empire Strikers, 60 seconds. Well, fans, don't forget after the final buzzer on tonight's game, we invite you to join us down on field to meet all your favorite Tacoma Stars players. It's an opportunity for you to come onto the field, grab a photograph, grab a high five, grab a conversation about tonight's game with all your favorite Tacoma Stars players. You don't need a special ticket.
Back at the ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington, it's Tacoma Stars 3, it's Empire Strykers 1. 2.5 minutes remain in regulation. The Strykers got to start finding some magic up their sleeve if they want to get back into this game.
Yeah, it's been a stop and start type of evening where the possession you would feel would yield more goal scoring opportunities for the Strykers, but it just hasn't come. And I'm really curious to see how in the next 2 minutes and some change, we're already seeing some adjustments as the sixth attacker has come onto the pitch. And I would imagine it would stay that way unless they're able to level things up.
The amount of sixth attacker jerseys that Empire Strykers have available is quite impressive because De Leon has his own. We saw Chavez in one earlier. Stinson was wearing one. I mean, it seems like every player on that sideline has an alternate kit just ready to go at any given moment.
Might as well just give them goalkeeper gloves as well, just so they're prepared.
De Leon. Stinson with the blue hair. You can't miss him. Caceres clears it away while staying in the attacking third.
If the Strykers are able to get one here, it could become a really nervy last 60 seconds, and it needs to come now, though, if anything real is going to happen. And
such a close chance. John trying to turn. Briscoe looks downfield. Nothing towards the empty net, but watch out. Here comes Tyler John in Palmer's rearview mirror. Close opportunity as Perez nearly scored on the other end. Down into the corner. Dropped. Palmer. Stinson. Going at Briscoe. Little step over. He takes a strike. He beats Beretta near post. Where has that been all night for the Strykers? It's 3-2. This is danger time for the Tacoma Stars. The Strykers are back within one.
We talked about how nervy of a finish this could be if they were able to get one through, and they just did. And Stinson doing it all by himself. And Luis Beretta just seems to be unsighted a little bit. Kai Briscoe standing over Stinson, maybe just preventing Beretta from being able to see it. Logan Jones in there as well. But nonetheless, 45 seconds, and this is a blockbuster finish.
Feels very similar to last night. For a long time, Strykers were trailing by 2. They got a late goal with about 17 seconds left in that game. Tried to give themselves a little bit of hope. They're going to call timeout to talk things over. 36.9 seconds remaining. We'll keep it right here. Man, the Strykers, all night long, after only having the Orozco goal, they find themselves back in it. Stinson sets himself up. He has the strike, and now they have possession of the ball. They're going to bring out the 6th attacker. It's going to be DeLeon, or it's going to be Chavez, or it's going to be Stinson. But they're going to have a 6th attacker, and they might just tie this thing up in this last 36 seconds.
Yeah, we saw how important and what role that 6th attacker has, creating the isolated one-on-one for their creative goal scorers, and Stinson took advantage of his chance. And I'd imagine they're having a conversation now how to fashion 1, maybe 2 more of those opportunities. And we're going to need to see the 6 men on the pitch come up strong if the Stars are going to hold down the hatches.
So the Stars clearly going with a defensive lineup, but it's not quite the penalty kill +1. Occasionally when you see them play Empire, they'll do their full penalty kill unit, which is Correa, Caceres, Jones, Tyler John. That's their penalty kill unit. Right now, Tyler John not to be seen, but you got Kai Briscoe and Jamel Cox. So you have speed on the field in every player there. We'll say Caceres. We'll throw him in there as a, holiday greeting for Caceres. But you got 4 speedy players in Correa, Cox, Briscoe, and Jones. I wonder if the counter is on for the Stars. And we have another player wearing the 6th attacker jersey. It's Robert Palmer.
Wow.
The 4th time we've seen the 4th different 6th attacker shirt that we've seen tonight. It's not Stinson, it's not Chavez, it's not DeLeon, it's Robert Palmer.
And he's got the ball in his hands, and a throw will get us underway.
A heave-ho downfield instead of just starting it with possession at your feet. It's a bold strategy. Cox plays sky high. It might clip the scoreboard, and it does, so that's a free kick directly. That comes all the way up to the attacking yellow line. Again, another dangerous situation. The Tacoma Stars can't dodge the bullet here.
The catapult throw worked out for Powell. Now he has an opportunity to orchestrate something.
Palmer over this ball, 2 men in front of it. Left-footed strike, gets off the wall. Caceres tries to funnel it. The shot, it misses off the near side. Stinson, under 20 seconds, left foot shot. Ball bouncing everywhere. Jones can't get a foot on it. It's Stinson. It's Correa with a deflection. A shot. Beretta gets 2 hands on it. Jones a heel flick. 5 seconds on the clock. Is that going to do it for the Stars? This one's chipped up. Beretta challenges. He's taken off of his feet. The horn sounds. The Tacoma Stars survive on a Saturday night.
What a finish. Take a breath, Luis Beretta. Second time this evening, off the boards, off his back, and it fell kindly for him. He needs to go do some prayer in front of that board to thank, because that could have gone anywhere, but it went his way. The Stars got the job done. It wasn't pretty, but they won't care.
Unbelievable ending. Stinson was able to score a goal, make things dangerous at the end. Who else but Luis Beretta to have to make a save, make the catch? He knew he was going to get pressure. It was an all or nothing type of challenge at the end. I mean, as an attacker, you got to just send everything forward. Luis Beretta knew that there was contact on the way. Here's one of those shots. It's right off his back. Caceres pokes it away. Unlucky bounce off the official to keep things alive for the Strykers. Here's Stinson on his last chance. Oh, man. Chaos at the ShoWare Center, but how else would we want things to go? Stand by as we have our post-game player of the game interview on the way. Tacoma Stars are 3-0 on the season. They got 9 points on the standings. They're the lone game of the night, so they find themselves in a tie for second right now with Milwaukee Wave. What a place to be. And it looks like we're going to get Adam Becker for the post-game interview. Stand by. We are moments away from hearing from the gaffer, Adam Becker, after the Stars win in a great West Coast game. Let's send it down there now.
Hi, we're here with Coach. Describe how this game went for you.
It went good. We won, right? They stuck to the game plan. It was a game that we knew was going to be gritty. We were going to have to defend for long periods of time. It showed our courage, our strength, our willingness to defend for 4 or 5 minutes at a time and find a way to get another win.
I love that. So how are you going to carry this momentum going into the next match?
We just refocus. Training comes Monday night, okay? We got Monday, Tuesday, the holiday off, back at it Friday, and we're thinking nothing of San Diego now at this point.
Awesome. Back with you guys.
Thank you, Peyton. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Peyton Chick, Adam Becker down on the field. We're going to go to a quick break here. We'll come back and recap the night, give some highlights, and talk about what's coming up next for the Tacoma Stars. Don't go anywhere. The postgame show right after this on MASL TV. Take a look at our highlights from the night. It's Jamel Cox who got things started off early. I mean, a minute into the game, Cole, and Jamel Cox opened up scoring on a night that wasn't going to have a lot of goals to it. So the Stars able to score early and then be able to win in a low-scoring game. It was a wild night at the ShoWare Center tonight.
Yeah, it definitely was a roller coaster. We're seeing the 2 goals now, the second here from Tyler John, but it was after soaking up so much pressure and being defensively resilient, which I think was the theme for the night, really just taking their opportunities when they came. And at the end of the day, the defense has a lot to do with that.
It was a wild one for these Tacoma Stars. No scoring at all in the second quarter. First half played so much different than the second half between these two sides. We saw 3 goals in the first quarter, nothing in the second quarter. A couple of blue cards get thrown around in the third quarter. This led to this Logan Jones goal, which eventually became your game winner in this 3-2 night. Logan Jones nets himself the winner straight off the free kick in a 4-on-4 situation. Caceres was able to spot him up on the far side. Logan Jones, just the easy finish against the near post. Great goal, great way for Logan Jones to find his 3rd of the season. And then lastly, Justin Simpson was able to try and get one back for the Empire Strykers here. But what a night it was at the ShoWare Center for these Tacoma Stars. 3-0 on the season, 2 tough games coming up. They see the San Diego Sockers on the road December 30th before seeing them at home again January 4th. These Sockers aren't where they're used to being. 1-1-1 in the standings, good for 4 points. The Tacoma Stars find themselves 3-0 with 9 points right now in the standings. What a way for the Tacoma Stars to start. And now, what do they got to do on this road trip to keep things going?
Yeah, the festive fixtures, they'll be going down to sunny San Diego and coming back up here to Washington. They're going to face some old familiar faces, and at the end of the day, those are going to be tough matchups. And no matter the standings, it's still early days in the season. They're going to have to perform.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight on this broadcast of the Tacoma Stars and the Empire Strykers on MASL TV for the final time. Tacoma Stars 3, Empire Strykers 2. I'm Peyton Behrens for Cole Weaver. Have a safe night.